You're watching 23 NBC.
Channel 25, KNDU, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick.
This is the news. The 11 o'clock report of news, weather, and sports from News Center 23 with Darren Watkins, Corinne Halverson, and Rod Smith weather. Now, News Center 23.
Search and rescue officials estimate that as many as 400...
This is the news. The 11 o'clock report of news, weather, and sports from News Center 25 with Doug Greengard, Mary Mack, and Randy Quaren weather. Now, News Center 25.
Good evening. Area firefighters...
You're watching KNDO Channel 23 in Yakima. And this is News Center 23. With Pat Doris. Kyle Osborne with the weather. And Doug Kershaw with sports. And now, News Center 23.
If you're driving through the Cascades tomorrow morning, be careful.
You're watching KNDU Channel 25. And this is News Center 25. With Darren Watkins. Kyle Osborne with the weather. And Mike Alger with sports. And now, News Center 25.
Good evening. Area fire crews were kept busy tonight on two different...
You're watching Channel 25, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick. And this is News Center 25 with Cor Harlan and Tom Moore Sports. And now, News Center 25.
Good evening, everyone. The campaign trail brought Governor Gardner eye to eye with a pro...
You're watching KNDO Channel 23 Yakima. And this is News Center 23 with Julie Hogan, Ross Parrish Sports, and Monty Webb weather. And now, News Center 23.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Hogan. Lower Valley teachers scrambled to get their...
We're watching KNDO Channel 23. And this is News 23 Late Edition. A complete wrap-up of the day's events in Yakima and around the valley.
Good evening, I'm Ross Parrish. Julie Hogan has the night off. Thanksgiving weekend, typically one of the most busy travel times of the year.
It gives you more local news than we do. KNDO News 23.
He's a hero by far. So are the other two or three gentlemen who subdued the suspect. Not the suspect, but the psycho.
Violence in America continues as a student takes a class hostage and shoots one person in the stomach. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Levin. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Late Edition. In Albany, New York, students learn a lesson in...
Nobody gives you more local news than we do. Late Edition, News 23.
He was a suspect, or could at least be somebody that needs to be questioned. The investigation is still looking in that area, but the investigation is also looking at other areas and other people.
The only man police took in for questioning in Finley's triple murder homicide has now been released. Good evening, everyone. I'm Heather Hayes. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Late Edition. Two women were shot.
Community College offers a class on trucking.
And up to the minute.
Don't be hauled home for the holidays with a wrecker. The Washington State Patrol tries to keep you safe.
Now, this is News 23 NBC.
Hi, I'm Dave Edel. Thanks for joining us on First at 5 this evening. In a verdict just handed down...
Straight ahead on News 25 NBC. Live.
Are school threats being taken too seriously? I'm Karina Allen. I'll have the story coming up.
Local.
Hundreds of books from the Kennewick Mid-Columbia Library are on the move. Details are straight ahead.
And up to the minute.
Clouds and some scattered showers in the lower Columbia Basin tonight, but not part of the long-range forecast. That's coming up.
Now, this is News 25 NBC, live at 6.
Since the fatal...
Straight ahead on Live at 11. Live.
A ship aground in Oregon continues to burn.
Local.
What would happen to our region if the dams were breached?
And up to the minute.
The forecast for Abe's birthday, cloudy. The forecast for George's birthday, also cloudy. The forecast for Cupid, he's all wet.
Now, this is Live at 11.
Good evening, I'm Judy Slade. Topping...
This is KNDO-23, your local news station.
KNDO Local News 11 at 11 starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us on 11 at 11. I'm Dustin McDonough.
And I'm Rochelle Murcia. Here's what's happening tonight. This is KNDU-25, your local news station.
KNDU Local News 11 at 11 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to 11 at 11.
This is KNDO. More local news, more often.
From the KNDO studios, all your nonstop news, your accurate fast alert weather and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. Live from the KNDO night team. This is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
The investigation continues over abuse at the Abu Ghraib prison. New evidence released.
This is KNDO. More local news, more often.
From the KNDO studios, all your nonstop news, your accurate fast alert weather and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. From the KNDO night team, this is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
Efforts are still in the works to build the much-needed Black Rock Road.
This is KNDO. More local news, more often.
From the KNDO studios, all your non-stop news, your weather plus forecast, and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. This is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
Plans are coming together for Mexican President Vicente Fox's visit tomorrow.
This is KNDU. More local news, more often.
From the KNDU studios, all your non-stop news, your accurate fast alert weather and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. Live from the KNDU night team, this is KNDU Local News 11 at 11.
Coming up on 11 at 11, Hydro's weekend kicks off tonight as people gather for the Rooster Tail dinner.
Tonight we'll tell you why organizers say this year's race could be...
This is KNDU. More local news, more often.
From the KNDU studios, all your non-stop news, your weather plus forecast, and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. Live from the KNDU night team, this is KNDU Local News 11 at 11.
A bill is in the works that would make smoking in your car
non-stop news, your weather plus forecast, the sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. KNDU Local News 11 at 11, right now.
Many cell phones.
Non-stop news, weather right now, sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. KNDO 11 at 11, right now.
Mexico is getting hit with the swine flu, and now it's moved to the U.S. We'll tell you if there are any cases in Washington State and how you can protect yourself.
Education in Washington State is taking...
You're watching KNDU Local News right now.
The high cost of health insurance is a big headache for many small business owners.
All your non-stop news, the Weather Authority forecast, and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. This is KNDU Local News 11 at 11. Right now.
Good morning at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, February 17th. Let's find out what's going on with the weather before you head out the door this morning.
NBC Right Now. Your local news at 5.
New information tonight about the double shell tank that's leaking at Hanford, and it's not good.
Sochi Winter Olympics. This is NBC Right Now. Local news at 5.
Is Friday's fatal shooting in Pasco justified? Investigators say it all depends what happened before.
NBC Right Now. Your local news at 6.
A local woman thought she was helping out what looked like an
11 minutes of non-stop news, your Weather Authority forecast, and SWX Sports Headlines. This is NBC Right Now Local News, 11 at 11.
After weeks of discussions about year-round schools in Pasco, a task force presents their recommendations this week.
11 minutes of non-stop news, your Weather Authority forecast, and SWX Sports Headlines. This is NBC Right Now, local news, 11 at 11.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Tracy Dial. Meredith has the night off. Right now, a brush fire.
11 minutes of non-stop local news, weather, and SWX Sports Headlines. This is NBC Right Now Local News, 11 at 11.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Tracy Dial. Teachers, parents, and kids from...
This is NBC Right Now Local News at 5.
Plus, we sit down with one woman.
This is NBC Right Now Local News at 6.
Well, in other news tonight, October, of course, is...
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun. And here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. And if you ever need to see a smiling face, I know right where you can find one. Each and every day, it's all about rising. You better get ready. It's all about rising. And I wanna be there.
Good morning to you. It is 4:30 a.m. Thanks for waking up early with us right here on Wake Up Northwest. I'm Madeline Carter. It's Tuesday.
This is NBC Right Now Local News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Camilla Rios. Let's check in with Sydney Steve.
Right now, 11 minutes of non-stop local news, your Weather Authority forecast, and SWX Sports. This is NBC Right Now Local News, 11 at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Scott Daniels, and here's Stacy Lee with the first look.
From your home of the Winter Olympics, featuring 11 minutes of non-stop news, your Weather Authority forecast, and SWX Sports. This is NBC Right Now Local News, 11 at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Scott Daniels. Let's start things off with Stacy Lee in the Weather Center.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun. And here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
Good morning, everyone. It's 4:30, and thanks for waking up early with Wake Up Nonstop Local. I'm Jessica Jalal, and it's
Tri-Cities, you're watching Non-Stop Local at 6.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jalal. We start in breaking news tonight.
Tri-Cities, you're watching Non-Stop Local at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for watching 11 at 11. I'm Christian Garza. Well, new tonight at 11:08.
You're watching 23 NBC.
This is KNDU 25, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick.